So welcome once again, John.
Thank you so much. I'm on a limited bandwidth, and I'm wondering if you can turn off the video, but it will record me. Is that possible? And then, in case the words don't come through clearly, right now it is, but if it starts not being clear, we'll adjust. Okay.
Okay,
so
we'll
just
adjust.
to know that.
So, are you saying should I turn off my video? Is that what you're recommending?
If you can't hear me clearly, then it'd be good to turn off your video. But as long as you can hear me clearly, then that's fine.
Okay.
And ironically, that's one of the most important things we have to learn in relationships is when we can't hear our partners, we need to take a time out. And ironically, another thing women can know is that if you're having a little bit of a heated discussion with a man, not an argument, but a heated discussion, it's really helpful not to look him in the eyes. That would be like turn off the video. You expand the bandwidth then in terms of it being auditory. When men are more visual, and women, when you express yourself, if it's a heated conversation, always a heated conversation means I don't trust you, hear me. And when men feel like you don't trust us, it creates a more of a defensive reaction to be right. And so just to minimize that, these are all just little things. When you have potential heated discussions, it's good to sit next to each other and look not directly into each other's eyes. When you're having a passionate conversation of love, but look right into the eyes. The eyes are the mirror to the soul, but men are way more visual than women. And so we pick up your mood, the tone of your voice, and so forth. So that, you can see this in movies where if you see two men sort of aggressively fighting each other, other men will pull them off and point them in another direction. It's literally like, don't waste your time. Look over there. Because, it tends to, once you're in a fight or flight reaction, you become very primitive. We all do. And for men at that time, just have them look in another direction. I noticed myself trying to eat a good diet during this COVID time because we don't have all the right normal stimulation to keep our stress levels down. We're a little bit deprived. If I am watching TV and I see someone eating something, I want to go eat. It's like I have to stay away from looking at TV because it makes me want to go overeat. And I know it's very, very important that we don't overeat, particularly when we're stressed, because one of the ways we avoid looking within ourselves and finding ways to love ourselves and in a healthy way process stress. We can talk about how to do that. We tend to eat and a little bit's fine, comfort food, but basically all comfort food does is postpone you having to deal with your issues. And it also can make you unhealthy. So you have to have an alternative to our addictive tendencies. All addictive tendencies will tend to suppress our negative emotions. And I know I'm just sort of launching out here, but I had some thoughts today and I want to share another one when I'm talking about how men and women are different. This was a new idea that I had. I explained it very clearly. And that is that, we've talked before about how men have a male side, testosterone, women have a female side, estrogen. And, we all crave balance and we want to come together. There's a place inside of men is that when they're stressed, we know this is a big problem for men, is they have addictions. Addictions are actually a way that a man can go to his female side when he feels he can't connect with his wife. When he's not getting enough sex, connecting to the female side, he will then have addictions. Addictions are him feeling I'm dependent on something outside myself to feel good. See, that's what estrogen is. Estrogen is our female hormone that says I depend on others. And our testosterone hormone is I depend on myself. And when men don't feel confident in themselves, that's when they're stressed, their testosterone goes down and they feel stressed, they will tend to fall over and go to their female side and depend on something external to make them happy. A healthy way to do that is making love. That is natural, elevating, and ironically, it's exactly what the word says, making love. Making love is so important that we can do in our lives. And it's why single people want to find a partner. And the single people that don't want to find a partner to make love is a big part of that, is they've experienced falling off the horse, like a child falls off the horse, and they didn't hop back on. And that's very, very important, is that when you have a traumatic experience, that you know, if you've had an experience with a man, I know mainly women are listening, but this would apply to men as well, is that if you have felt hurt by someone, your tendency is avoidance. That's the way the brain is built. When your hormones are out of balance, that's increased 10 times. Basically, if you're in danger and you're a woman, your fight or flight hormonal reaction is increasing testosterone and decreasing estrogen. Now, for man, it's just the opposite, just to keep it in context. For men, when they're experiencing a stress hormone, their testosterone is low, their self-esteem is low, their confidence is low, they're feeling defensive. Their estrogen levels start to rise, and they experience a greater dependence on something to make them feel good. And that's what addiction is. Oh. And for women, being addicted to being single, you see, we have to see that that's a lot of women, they've just been unlucky in love, and so they just give up, or they have high standards, you know, or they're living in a place of what we call a bias towards negativity. When you have a stress, let's say you've been burned, then if you're in a stress state, your brain is looking for where is the fire. Okay, so I'll say that again. It's a little not too easy to understand here, but if I've experienced being burned by fire, fire caused a stress state. Now, just my life, I'm feeling stressed. As soon as your body goes into a cortisol response, it remembers that which in the past also caused the cortisol response. And so now you're looking at a man hurt me, or I felt hurt in a relationship. And now I'm just feeling stressed. My economy's down. My hormones are out of balance. My work's not so easy. You know, whatever's throwing you out of balance, if you're in a stress state, your brain will start going to looking at the negativity of men instead of the being optimistic about men, seeing the good that's there, but only being able to see the negative which is there. And this is a bias the brain goes through. In very simple terms, you know, I like to simplify with little stories and metaphors.
Yeah.
If you can think about a woman's brain, it's different from a man's in that under moderate stress, this is just a daily grind. Under moderate stress, or just simply hormonal imbalance, where her testosterone is more than her estrogen. When that happens, women are different than men, whereas men will tend to detach. Under moderate stress, we become more detached. We minimize. No big deal. Don't worry about it. It's not a problem. Forget it. These are all tendencies in men under moderate stress to regulate stress in their body to lower it. But for women, there's an increase, a 7 to 8 times increase of blood flow to the emotional part of the brain. Wow. Whereas men tend to minimize, women tend to amplify. Now, where would that amplification come from? Is the estrogen, which is the hormone women need 10 times more than men, and they need 20 times more than men in order to fall in love. The estrogen level is the part of us that says, whenever you feel I need your help, I depend on others, estrogen goes up. And estrogen allows you to be aware of your need for others. And as that need's being fulfilled, then you need others more, and it rises higher and higher. Well, think about that as a woman in a community raising children, always depending on her community to support her. The men are all gone to war. They're all gone hunting. They're gone for a while. Women have to depend on each other. So naturally, if you don't have what you need to amplify by communicating what I need. And in primitive states, the way we communicate what we need is by complaining. So the brain goes into a complaining mode of looking at what's wrong. So now let's apply these ideas together, and what you'll get under moderate stress, as soon as the stress is starting to increase, a woman will remember this, the brain will remember the stresses of the past and start looking for where is the danger here? Where is the danger here? Rather than where is the benefit here? Like if you visit my house or in my Tesla car, you go, oh, what a great car. This is so fun. But then you want to read the reviews What's not great about this car? You want to buy a house. Actually, when my daughter bought a house, we had to hire someone to come in and see all the problems of the house. Otherwise, we wouldn't buy it. You know, what was the plumbing like? What was the electricity like? What was the mold levels in the house? You know, how effective was the heater? What were the bills? You know, you have to see what's wrong with the house or there leaks. That's if you want to buy the house. So women have to know is if you're out there looking in 2021, finding the one for you. Okay, so don't look for your perfect person yet. What you need to do is reflect on past relationships where you didn't get what you wanted. That causes you to not trust men, to be in a place of looking at the negative. And one of the issues you can do, two things you can do to overcome that place of negative thinking, a bias towards looking at what's wrong with somebody rather than what's right with someone. That bias can go away when you're dating somebody that's lower than your standards. You're settling, but you're not looking for the right person. It's like you're just visiting. Your focus is you're not buying the house, you're enjoying the house. So it's a process of creating a series of positive dating experiences where you're not looking for the perfect person. And what are you doing? You're letting a man give to you. So you're practicing not giving. 99% of the time, when women are unhappy in relationships, you can summarize it where she'll feel, I gave and I didn't get back. Her problem is she gives too much. She has to learn how to receive. And trusting, by the way, is the foundation of being able to receive. And then from there comes how to ask for help, how to receive help, how to not overgive, create the balance in the relationship.